Hey, this is Ralph, and I'm still working on my goals, so we're going to do another 10-minute rapid game. And I'm definitely going to make sure I do the review right after, because the game yesterday, which turned out to be pretty good, but I really did miss some good moves that I should have played. I missed some great opportunities, and I didn't notice those, obviously, during the game, but they really kind of stood out after the fact. So I just need to get better at definitely slowing down a little bit and thinking about the possibilities for the different moves. But I am happy to report that even just a couple days of kind of recording my games and talking out loud is, I think it's helpful. It actually helps me kind of visualize the various possibilities for a certain position. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and play online. 10 minute. Let's see what we get. Okay, we're black. So my rating is now 1672 against Troletsky 1662. Is that France? It is France. Okay, let's go ahead and counter with e5. Okay. So already I start to get a little bit nervous with these more aggressive moves here. I don't think I want to... That's right, I was going to practice with the arrows. I don't think I want to move this because after a take, queen takes mine, I just lose the right to castle. Of course, the queens are off the board early, so that might not be too big of a deal. But yeah, I'll just go ahead and take, and we'll see if we do this. I don't want to put queen here because that's going to block my d pawn and therefore block my light squared bishop. Oh, and I can't do that anyway because my g7 pawn is under attack. So forget that idea. Now if I get this knight out, wouldn't they just push? Make me move that knight a second time? Okay. Okay, made a few quicker moves there, but I don't think there's been anything too shocking, too scary yet. I need to finish developing, so let's get this light squared bishop out. They're going to push me back to b6. Nope. I would like to put my bishop on b6 though. So that way I'm kind of targeting that long diagonal there. They may try to take with the knight, so it'd probably be good if I had a little escape square. So maybe soon, if they don't force me right away, I want to move this pawn, this a pawn to a6. Give my bishop a little place to tuck away. Okay, so they're going to go for a checkmate here on h7. Now they are threatening this once, of course, they move this pawn. Good move. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can't take care of their light squared bishop right away. I still like the idea of pushing this pawn so that I can get this dark squared bishop targeting that diagonal on the king, because I don't think my bishop over here is doing much. And I'd like to move this knight when I need to, and this bishop is underprotected. So It's probably smarter for me to move the pawn, but I don't know if I have time. Because if I do the pawn first, they move their knight. No, I guess... All right, I'll try it. Okay. Knock that, scare that bishop away. Actually, I kind of like this move. I can kind of make their queen move away for sure. I'm going to go ahead and get my bishop moved down a little bit. Feel better saying, yeah, make the move their king away. Threaten their queen. Okay, it's going to make me... Let's see, what do we got here? Got a whole lot of nothing. Can't move here because that's going to take away an escape square for my bishop. Can't move there or lose to the bishop. Only down here or over here? Over here it is. But it looks like I might have a pretty good square for my knight there on e5. But it seems like pretty soon they can get their queen on that g file, start to threaten my king, get their bishop over here on h6 if that pawn is pinned. That g7 pawn is pinned. Yep, that's what they're going for. So they're going to move that. They want to get that bishop in the mix. So I'm going to go ahead and slip away to take away that h6 square. Now see, I wonder if I should have just pushed that pawn, if that would have been a better way to go. Nah, probably not, because that opens up the f file. All right. Definitely want to get my knight out. Ooh, what do they got going on now? So they're getting pretty aggressive here. If I did bring my knight out, what are they going to do? They want to put their rook there on g4 and pile up on this pawn. I can obviously defend with my rook, but my king is getting very, very crowded back there. If I push up here, take. Gosh, is that good? Does it open up my queen too much? If I push this pawn, they take en passant. I take with my bishop. My rook is protecting the f6 pawn. But now I just have basically a bishop and a pawn over here. But I don't know, maybe that's fine. Maybe that's fine. Man, it would be awesome if I could get my bishop right here on this e4 square. They're going to obviously react soon, but I'm going to try it, see what happens. Because if they do move their rook over to g4, then, okay, not exactly what I was expecting. Not what I was expecting. Does that do anything for me? They're going to put their queen on h3, hitting this pawn. I'm going to need to push this pawn forward. But, oh man, they're still going to have a battery. I've got one pawn defending, and they're going to have their dark squared bishop, a rook, and a queen attacking this one piece. So I'm going to end up having to move my light squared bishop down to here to g7. But in anticipation of that, let's threaten their queen. Okay, they're going to try to remove my defender, but I don't think I'm too worried about that because I can take with a rook. So let's continue. Oh no, they're going to put their bishop right there. All right, this screws me up, doesn't it? Obviously, I need to protect, but they still have that bishop attacking. Oh man. Are there any outs? Yeah, I don't think I see any outs on this one. I don't really have any attacks. I can't divert. So another game where I feel like I was on the defense the entire time. Let's see, I can take. Yeah, it doesn't really threaten. It just delays the inevitable, right? Because obviously they can take with several things. They can take with their queen, and that would kind of line them up in a good place. Alrighty, so I guess I don't have too many ideas. I'll push. I'll expect that bishop to take. They're going to sack their bishop. And I'll take and get mated right here. Well, I guess I can dodge a little bit maybe. Nah, they're going to get me. Well, they can move their rook all the way down to h8, and that'll open up. Oh, well, no, I guess that gets me too, doesn't it? Okay, good game. All right, well, that one went pretty quick. Of course, I only had a minute left, so I guess it didn't go too quick. I will do this game review so we can kind of see at what point I really started to go south. All right, accuracy in the mid-70s, that's actually kind of typical for me, I think. So getting into the 80s is a rare treat. So, and it looks like it was relatively even, obviously, for a chunk of the game. White took the lead a little bit, then, you know, maybe I helped to make it a little bit flatter, and then really I just got railroaded at the end. So let's see what we got here. Okay, so there's one of my first bad moves there. So I'm going to retry. Missed an opportunity to offer an equal trade of pieces. I've noticed this analysis, this review, I should stop saying analysis because that's a different feature. This review board, it does that a lot, and I guess maybe it's good a lot of the time. So I could have offered to trade equal pieces. Yeah, I kind of like the idea of knight g6 to help kick away that queen. Let's see what that says. good, but not necessarily great. Offer an equal trade of pieces. I can always jump up here. My bishop is protecting that square, kind of threatening their knight. That's an excellent move. Okay. Yeah, I guess I should think more about trying to get rid of their bishops, right? So they can take with their light squared bishop. I retake, but I'm threatening their dark squared bishop, so they'd have to move that if they want to keep it. Or obviously take the knight, so okay. What's the next move? Oh, that was a bad one there. But obviously I had to act, right? So they didn't like this square. I didn't have many other options. So if I'm going to retreat my knight, I really only have this as an option. And that's the best move. It does help me protect this pawn, whereas moving my knight over here to c6 wasn't really doing anything for me, I guess. So I still protect this pawn. My bishop still has an escape square, but of course they're still going to push regardless. That was probably the best move I could have made, moving my king over there, but I don't know if that's really going to change the course of the game. Yep, and there's pretty much it. So bishop e5 is a mistake. It's not doing anything for me, right? Yeah, I'm threatening the queen, but the queen easily sidesteps, and the queen was going to sidestep anyway. The queen wants to be on h3, so me forcing it to where it wants to be isn't really much of a forcing move. I only had one good option, and bishop to e5 was not it. Do I get my knight back in the mix? That's a mistake, but maybe less of a mistake. Well, let me get a hint here. Now, it is a bishop move. Gosh, just taking their knight? I guess that's the best move, but if I was them, I would just take with a pawn and continue what they're going to do. Interesting. Of course, if they did take with the pawn, that gets us kind of back to a relatively even position. And then from here, I would do a knight e5, get back in the center square, looking at the analysis lines. Interesting. Okay. So that was a pretty critical move there. Instead of threatening that queen, which does nothing, should have taken their knight to kind of alter that position. Okay. All right. Well, it was a learning experience, and I hope it was for you too. So thanks. And by the way, if anybody's catching these videos and want to hit me up for a game on chess.com, you know, I guess CarendenRoad is my it's my chess name, CarendenRoad. But I should probably put it down in the video descriptions too. But definitely, yeah. Let me know your chess.com handle, and we'll go for a game. And let's try to do something relatively slow, at least 10 minutes or longer, so that we can both practice and learn from it. So thanks. Take care.